Hi FCST 1010 students, this is Dr. Wheeler and welcome to week 6 of FCST 1010. We only have 8 weeks, so we're moving along very quickly. Keep in mind that when you do not submit assignments, I fill it in with a 0, and I'm usually I grade at the beginning of the week. I've been grading at the later end of the week, hoping that some of you may submit assignments. So if you do submit something late, a lot of you have been pretty good about it, make sure that you email me and let me know that you submitted late. Just so I can, if I have started grading, I can go back and check it again and not skip over it or miss it. Last week, let me go to our LibGuide. This week we are going to Module 7. Last week was Module 6. And last week, hold on, our module was over memory study and test taking. Even if you're taking classes this summer, I know for instance, FCS2, we don't really have any memorization or test taking tips or quizzes or anything like that for you to actually practice these test taking tips. But make sure that you carry all of this information on to fall semester, when you will have classes that require you to take a quiz or to memorize. Keep that in mind as you move along. See what works and what doesn't work as far as test taking goes. Listen, guys, coming from somebody that was and I'm going to tell on myself, because when I went to nursing school, our class was the first class to take our nursing boards online. We were the very first one back in the 90s to take them online. And I drove to Chattanooga with my twin sister to take them. We got caught in a rainstorm. I didn't stay the night before. I drove straight through and left at about 5 or 6 in the morning. By the time I got there, I was already rattled for having to take such a high-stakes test. But I didn't get much sleep the night before. I didn't spend the night in Chattanooga, so I had to drive straight through. The traffic was terrible. I was a ball of nerves by the time I got there. I was hungry. I was tired. It was cold in the center, and I had on shorts. I was totally unprepared. I was one of 2 people out of 60 to flunk my nursing boards the first time. Everybody else took 75 questions. I took 285 and missed it by 2. And so I was heartbroken. Needless to say, I took it 2 months later, learned my lesson the first time, practiced some good test-taking tips, and passed it with flying colors. And got a better nursing job than my sister did. So it kind of paid off. But take your advice when you take a test and you know what you did wrong. Take your own advice and go back and correct your mistakes for the next time and say, I'm not going to do that again. This week we're moving on to Module 7. This is information, literacy, and critical reading. And this week you need to read all about plagiarism. This first part, you'll do this, Monday through Wednesday. And step 2, these are very short videos, guys. Very short videos. Then you'll move on to the weekly journal after you watch that. So not really much in this one except to watch all of these. A big goal in FCST 1010 is reflection. As a college student, it's not only important, that's what we say every week. This one, how do you feel when you read large amounts of information? That's what my master's degree in is reading. And that's what I used to teach at Georgia Highlands was developmental reading. The one thing that all students stressed to me was, I hate to read. I hate to read. And I would pull something up on the screen. I'd say, how do you feel when you see that? And they would say, overwhelmed. And they would say, oh my gosh, do you mean I have to read that? My 15-year-old nephew, Harrison, he does the same exact thing. What I try to tell him is find out what you're looking for first, and we're going to go over that in the second half. But what I've been trying to teach Harrison this summer, he's having to go to summer school and retake an English course, and we'll have to read a large reading, it's a large passage. And I'll say, Harrison, before you do anything, look at the questions and see what the questions are asking you. And then try to answer the questions as you read the story. Because you're looking for something then. You're not reading through it and then saying, oh gosh, I can't even remember what I read. If it's a question and then you have to reply to a passage, read the question first. But what I want you to do in your journal this week is, what emotion do you feel when you see large amounts of information that you have to read? Do you say, oh my gosh, are you frustrated? Are you overwhelmed? Do you have a strategy? Y'all, the strategy better be note-taking. You cannot remember everything that you read. There is no possible way. After you listen to my lecture, you'll forget half of what I said in the next 15 minutes. When your professor is lecturing, you cannot remember everything that they're saying. If you do not write it down, you're not going to remember it. If you read it, you're not going to remember it. So one strategy should be note-taking. So that was the next question. Do you soon forget what you read? What could you do to become a more critical reader? And you may say, take notes. So that is the journal for this week. And I hope, guys, that you can share strategies with each other, or that you can let each other know, I'm just as frustrated as you are. Day 2, step 1, watch the never-ending story trailer. Then you're going to move on to critical reading method. This is what I teach all of my students. The SQ3R method. It is survey question, read, recite, review. You'll learn all about it, and no matter, and a lot of you guys in this class, you're what I consider non-traditional students, which means a lot of you are older, you have families, or you've been to college before. Traditional students straight out of high school, they've never used the SQ3R. You can't tell them how wonderful it is and get them to use it. I'll say, did you try it? No, not really. Oh, please, guys, try the SQ3R method. You will absolutely love it. When you are reading, maybe this first semester or even your second semester, you may not have large amounts of information to read, but you will, I promise you. Once you start getting into your degree path and you're taking courses that pertain to your degree, you will have heavy reading. You'll need SQ3R. Day 2, why knowing how to read critically is important. There's an infographic right there. And this last one is about how to read critically, how to think through things, how to know how to research. And I'm going to show you some of these things. You are going to click on this 21st Century Researcher Skill Shop. And it tells you right here the purpose of taking this, the goals and objective. Do not skip any of it. Do not skip any of it. Assess your research skills. So you have to take this short quiz by clicking on it. It's very short, but remember it. And then getting started. There is a video that should show up right here, and click on it. If you can't see it on your computer, here is the address. You can cut and paste this address into another tab to watch this video if you don't see what I'm seeing right here. Keep going down on evaluating sources. Oh, it says my Prezi is gone. I will try to get this Prezi up before you guys get to it. If not, you can skip over the Prezi part. This part, this isn't just say, I like the one on the right, or I like the one on the left. You need to go to each page. You can go to them by clicking right here, or by clicking on this one right here. and tell me which one you would use. You'll see the questions in a minute, but you need to compare these two websites, and we're going to talk about those questions in just a minute. Next, I don't know that the library will be open sometime this week. This is a live chat. All you have to do down here is click on this right here, type what you want to say to the librarian, and she'll type back to you. It's pretty cool. But I don't think that they're open on Sundays, but I think they're open the rest of the week. Don't wait until Sunday to complete this one. Exploring web tools, all you have to do, web 2.0 tools, all you have to do is click on this wrench with your mouse. It seems like a lot, guys, but it's not. The last one, I want you to cut and paste these questions into a Word document and answer all of them. Now listen carefully, guys. I didn't say I want you to answer them. I want you to cut and paste the question and then put your answer beside it. I can't remember all these questions, so if you just post your answers, I kind of get lost in it. Make sure you cut and paste the question and then answer it. How do you feel about the research quiz? So you have to take that quiz up there. Watch the Getting Started video, and I'll let you know if you can't see the video, then you need to cut and paste that the web address into another tab to watch it. Then there are two websites over the Salem witch trials. Which one would you use for a research paper and why? Make sure you refer to the guide on evaluating sources. The next one is Ask a Librarian. And like I said, I don't think that they're open on Sundays. I don't even know that they're open on Fridays. So I don't think they're open on Saturdays. So you need to complete this Monday through Friday. Why you would use it or why you wouldn't use it. And then the last one was the tool that you click on. Which Web 2.0 research tool would be most helpful to you personally and why. And then you're going to upload those to the Dropbox. So we're going to go back to our home page. And I hope everybody had a good 4th. I had a great 4th. So you're going to go to discussions. You're going to complete journal number 7. How do you feel when you read large amounts of information? Answer the questions fully. And guys, when y'all are formatting your challenges, make sure that you follow the MLA guidelines. Make sure you always label your paper to the left, and make sure you use Times New Roman font number 12. When you do your challenge number 7, go to the Dropbox and click on number 7. Make sure you upload the questions and then answer the questions for challenge number 7. Y'all have a great week. We're nearing the end. Make sure you're keeping up with assignments. You don't want to start waning off here at the end and end up losing a letter grade because you're not turning in challenges or journal entries. If you turn them in late, just know that I'll count off at least usually half credit depending on how late it is. Half is better than nothing at all, but if you'll just stay on that schedule, guys, if you can't stay on a schedule for this class, how are you going to stay on a schedule for your core classes? So make sure I give you guys a week, and I split these assignments up so that you'll have the journal at the beginning of the week and the challenge at the end. That should be, that should be very manageable for you guys if you're actually writing it in your planner and keeping up with it. So if you're having troubles with it, make sure that you email me, but please keep up with your assignments. We're nearing the end. Y'all have a great week. Email me if you need me, as always, kwheeler@highlands.edu, and have a fantastic week.